Okay, yes, you are not imagining it. As confirmed by the thumbnail, I'm officially making cutting boards for the very first time. Why did it take this long? I really don't know. Commitment issues, I've talked about them on here before. I don't think it's that. Or maybe my respect for rectangles is just too great. It's really hard to say. And before we go any further, check this out. I threw together a quick and dirty PVC dust collection system. This is not permanent. It's more of a we're just seeing each other kind of setup. I'll probably run it like this until I stop buying tools, stop moving tools around, and convince myself that I'm finally done rearranging my shop. So yeah, sometime in the future. Eventually I'll invest in proper dust collection piping, but for now I just needed something so I could stop dragging one 20-foot hose from machine to machine. Kind of feels like I'm reenacting some sort of shop-themed CrossFit workout. So that was it. Simple. It works surprisingly well. It would actually work a lot better if I remembered to open the correct blast gate before turning machines on, but we are learning and we will get there. But back to the cutting boards. I may have gotten a little ambitious and decided to make not just one, not two, but ultimately I made 4 of these. Nothing says first time like immediately overdoing it. And if you haven't noticed already, this video might not be the most action-packed thing on YouTube. No explosions, no slow motion glue-ups set to dramatic music, but they were a lot of fun to make. It's just some easy, mindless shop therapy where nothing's on fire, and the clamps mostly cooperated. Originally, I did want these boards to be way more chaotic. Some really wild patterns, pure anarchy. But I quickly underestimated how much material you lose when you keep cutting things into smaller and smaller pieces. At a certain point, I had to stop before these turned into cutting coasters. So yeah, this is my first cutting board build. Slightly less chaos than planned, slightly more fun than expected, and exactly the size I wanted them to be. Eventually. I have talked before about how woodworking can get a little repetitive, but cutting boards are a whole new level of copy and paste. Same steps, different boards, over and over again. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, but with more glue and clamps. So in just a second, I'm gonna drop in some music to help anyone brave enough to keep watching. I'll also give your ears a much needed break from my completely unnecessary commentary and, well, general rambling. You're welcome. But before I do that, I genuinely want to say thank you for watching. Whether you clicked out after 15 seconds or somehow made it through the whole thing, I really appreciate it. I have picked up a lot of new subscribers from the last few videos, which is pretty wild, so seriously, thanks again. And if you are one of the elite few who sticks around until the end, leave a comment. Let me know which board you like the best. I certainly have my favorite. I had a lot of fun making these, and once the scrap pile starts getting out of hand again, I'll definitely make some more. My original goal was to make as many boards as possible. It turns out I learned very quickly that number was not going to be very high. To really maximize quantity, I almost made them this small, like technically still a cutting board, small. But in the end, I decided to sacrifice quantity for quality. Nobody wants an end grain cutting board that looks like it belongs under a coffee mug. I wanted these to be big. Now, bigger than those 2 little squares at least. Real proper end grain cutting boards. And I mean, big wood is good wood, right? Alright, so some real talk for 1 second. Beneath all the glue ups and bad jokes, I actually want to make videos that people enjoy watching, so I have a question for you. What do you prefer? Do you like the commentary, music, the sweet industrial lullaby of machines? Or maybe some kind of Frankenstein of everything? The main reason I haven't been using machine audio is because my music is usually cranked way up in the shop, which, if I'm being honest, is probably not doing my hearing any long-term favors. Wearing some noise-canceling headphones would definitely help, assuming I remember to put them on. So leave me a comment and let me know what you like. Any feedback is hugely appreciated, and who knows, may even save my hearing. What I just did there was throw together a quick router sled to flatten these boards. Nothing fancy, just enough engineering to convince the router it knows what it's doing. Luckily, these boards stayed pretty flat, so it only took 2 small passes per side. Next up, I used a combination of the track saw and table saw to square everything up. And if you are wondering, I am currently in charge of the dishes. So if you hear the dishwasher growling in the background like it's mad at me, that's probably why. But to spare you from the soothing sounds of domestic responsibility, I think it's a perfect time to add a little more music. Before we get to the big reveal of my very first cutting boards, I'm going to go ahead and add some feet. Cutting boards deserve to stand a little taller and not slide around like they're trying to escape the countertop. But seriously, thank you all again for watching. These were a ton of fun to make, and I really appreciate you sticking around for the journey. That's it for this one, and I'll see you on the next build.